I mean, that's the water it's dripping down, enough to cause some problems. See down here, all of this water, and if you just saw that drip, and it's coming out of there somewhere, very far back. Now I gotta go find out what. Look at there, brand new RV, and our cold water PEX line is leaking. We are using a pressure regulator, so this shouldn't be leaking. So it's either got a bad clamp or something. So I'm gonna check it out now. Now would be a great time to subscribe to the channel. All right, so today I'm gonna talk about the PEX lines in your RV. So this is our third RV, and every one of them I've had to do something with the water lines because we've gotten either a water leak or there's been a problem, a split, an elbow crack. Something will probably happen eventually where you're going to need to repair it. So this is a brand new RV, and I just turned the water on. We tested the water and everything out for the first time, and I found a water leak right here under one of our vanity sinks in the bathroom. It was the blue line here, and I've already actually fixed it, but it was this blue water line, and the PEX line going to that elbow was leaking. And we didn't catch it when we saw it at the dealership, but we had it here, and you can kind of even see some of the watermark there underneath it that I'm going to have to clean up. Water is really, really bad to an RV because it's made of wood and not usually high quality wood. So water can be very deathly to an RV. You always want to keep an eye out for any kind of water leaks. Check it routinely. Just make sure you don't have any water dripping. Also, always make sure you have a pressure regulator on your RV if you're using like a city water connection. If you're using water from your tank and you're using your onboard pump, that already should be pressure regulated. But if you're hooking up to city water and having a water hose connection right into your RV, that's not pressure regulated, and you need to put a pressure regulator on your RV to make sure you're not going over the appropriate PSI, which is typically about 25 PSI. Anyways, we had a leak here, and I'm going to show you what you need to have on board whenever you have a problem with your PEX so you can try to fix it. All right, so this is basically a intro PEX kit set that you're going to want to buy for your RV. So this is a PEX cutter. This cuts up to, I think, 1-inch PEX line, something like that, which is typically, I don't see 1 inch in an RV, but maybe, but we usually see 1/2 inch. That's what I usually commonly see in all these RVs. So this will easily cut that. This is the actual pliers or cincher or whatever you want to call it that will lock down these, basically these are the clamps or the bands that you put on your PEX line to tighten them. And this whole kit came with everything you would probably need to start off with an RV. So this right here will put the clamps on and take the clamps off. And this right here will cut the line if you need to cut it. So let's say you have a bad part of your line or you have a split. The only thing that's not here that I did order is a variety pack, basically, of 1/2 inch fittings. It's going to have, I bought one that has like 10 elbows, 10 T's, and 10 straights, because you never know what portion is going to break. So I would definitely recommend this as one of your essential tools when you have it in the RV, because water, again, is very dangerous to your RV. And this is basically the first toolkit you're going to reach for if you have problems with your water lines. I'll put a link to this down in the description of the video so you can check out the one I purchased. But pretty much any of these PEX wrenches here are going to, probably fit. Just make sure that it can do anywhere from, I don't know, 1/2 inch all the way up to 1 inch. That'll pretty much cover you. And that's typically what these kind of wrenches are. So here is the clamp. You open up this crimping tool all the way, and then you slide that part of the band in there. So when you start squeezing that down, it's going to squeeze the end of this little piece here nice and tight, which is going to pull this band real tight. When this set of pliers here clamps all the way down and these two handles come together, it's going to stop at a point where this is really, really tight. You just take it off. They automatically will open back up because you squeezed it all the way to the right point. Then you just take it off, and this will be cinched down real well. Now, if you want to get rid of the clamp, let's say the clamp is bad, well, then you just cut it at this direction with these cinching pliers, and they'll come down and they'll just snip off basically the part of the ring here that is pulling it and putting all the tension on it. When it's this way, it just cuts that off. You rip it off, and then this thing basically automatically is going to loosen up, and then you just pull it off. When I was saying have a variety pack, I'll put a link down to the variety pack also that I purchased. Like these are elbows here. These little white pieces here are the elbows. Those can just split, you know, from time, or, you know, maybe they have a little bit of stress on them. Something happens, they split. You'll also find T's, which, like right here, these have T's because they all use the same 1/2-inch water lines coming in. And then you'll have straights where you just need to connect line. Those will typically come into play. Like let's say you get a split or a little hole in one of your PEX lines, and you know there was a defect there and it finally just gave out. You would just cut that with the cutter, and then you'd put a straight in there and then put 2 clamps on it, and that would be how you would repair your line. So yeah, definitely one of the essential tools you're going to need is a good PEX crimper. You don't always have to even repair these or cut these off. Sometimes it's as simple as they didn't tighten these down all the way from the factory, and you just need to put the pliers on there and then tighten it down even more. And you do that by just putting it around this little bubble piece right here that's coming out the side, and then just tighten it down as far as it'll go, letting go. Test the water out, see if it's leaking. I mean, that might be all you need to do. But, you know, if not, cut it off, inspect the elbow or the fitting, inspect the line, make sure everything looks good. If everything does look good, you may want to trim off just a little bit of the line to make sure there's not something on the inside of that line that you didn't see, and then just recrimp it on. You should be good to go. You just don't want water leaking in an RV because it will just rot out your floors, rot out your walls. It's horrible. You don't want water leaking in your RV. All right, I hope this video was helpful. Thank y'all for watching. Take care.